Okay, a few of you have asked, how do I get rid of that low back pain? The low back, I think, is just so misunderstood. If you think of what's above it and what's below it, those are usually the prime causes. We hold so much tension in our body that just to focus on the low back is really going to produce very small results. First thing, if you look at the thorax, all the bones attach front and back to the spine. There's very little movement in there. It's so important to get that loosened up, but especially the hips. Our hips can have all kinds of things going on. We can have one leg structurally longer than the other. We can have this forward tilt posture, or we could have this posture where it's pulled up underneath us. So correcting the hips, correcting the thorax, and the restrictions that are there are really the first place to start. Another thing, if you think about the movement in our spine, the lower back has the least amount of movement. Most of that rotation or even lateral flexion, anterior and posterior, the low back has just very little movement. So looking at all these areas, the whole back. I mean, I don't even want to not say the arms are important or the neck is important, because any restriction in that biokinetic string of movement in our body affects everything. Even not to mention, not to let go of the calves. That too should be looked at and thought about. And that's why I really, I'm a big proponent of doing self-treatment at home, because bringing that awareness into your body is really the best place to start. You know more than I do when it comes to what you're feeling. So having that arsenal of information to say, oh, my feet are tight or my calves are tight, that's really where, a great place to start. So I'm going to do a couple of things today. Obviously, the spine is a great place to start, and that's why I like the roller. Using a roller, a bolster, a noodle from your pool, or rolled up towels. The idea is to lift the spine up out of gravity so that you can basically just feel all this tension just melt away and release. So laying on a roller vertically, like I showed it before, is very beneficial. But there are some great ways to use it horizontally as well. And so this was the posture that I showed the other day, getting in and laying on there from the head to the tail, so everything is on the roller, and just letting your limbs open up to the side. Some other ways to focus on this would be to sit right across the side and just let the knees rock side to side. If you have the range of motion, by adding that figure 4 in your legs will also put a little bit more pressure into those areas. Getting both sides. Laying on the front of it as well. Just letting it come right across your hips. There's a lot of good attachments in here that get tight, especially those that sit in a chair all day. Just letting your body just fold over the top. I don't think I want to move. I like this one so much. But you can also isolate one quadricep at a time. Putting one leg on. And again, you really want to let the tension go out of your body. It's another good one, especially after a long walk. I don't want to move, but there's a lot more I want to show you. Any of these positions should be held for 5 minutes or more. You should feel as though you're just melting, creating a safe environment for you to do it on as well. Feeling that you're just focused on your breath and you're letting go and you're melting, not thinking about what you got to do today or tomorrow, but allowing yourself that mind-body connection, so that your body sends signals to your mind, and your mind sends signals back to your body on relaxing and letting go. There's other ways, obviously. There, I would say just explore and have fun on it. Laying on the side, I think I demonstrated that as another way. We hold a lot of tension through the sides of our body. Just be really mindful, go really slow. You should never be in a position where you're holding on to stress. You want to feel like, oh, that feels so good, I can just stay here forever. That's really the goal. To get a little bit more specific in some of the areas, I know some of you have my ball. They can be used anywhere. You can pin it against a wall and roll on it, find your spots, and then hold it. I usually recommend a few spots, one being the diaphragm area, right in here. It's just at the very bottom of your sternum. And just laying on that for a little while. You can do Mr. Potato Hands, hold your head up. But you do want to be able to relax your head and just stay there. Another good area is psoas. We've heard of psoas in a lot of different areas these days. But finding that bony prominence right inside your hip and just going right inside of that. You don't want to be midline. You don't want to go deep in your center of your abdomen. But just off to the side. And then lay on that. If it's too much, you could bring the leg out to the side. If you're laying there for a little bit and you feel like it's melting and relaxing, you could lift the other leg on the other side, which will push your hip into it a little bit more. And I see I've been neglecting my psoas. It's another spot I really don't want to leave right now. It feels really good, and it's a great way to release your hips. Laying on your back. Our piriformis, a lot of people with sciatica get misdiagnosed with piriformis syndrome because these muscles are related to it. So just laying back, leaning to the side, placing it right to the side of your sacrum, between here and your hip, sacrum, hip, right in the middle. Lean back, and then you can lean into it. You can open both legs. Again, you just want to lay there and relax for 5 minutes or more. I like to have my little timer set. So all I gotta do is sit, hit the button, and just lay here and forget about it. And just focus on your breathing. The sides of our hips in here can get very tender, especially those that stand up all day or those that are athletes and play sports. So just kind of leaning on the side of it will also help release a lot of the tension in the hips. So there really are a lot of different ways to self-treat. The recommendation is 30 minutes a day. If you don't have a ball, I was like, what is in my house that you can create a ball out of? I found that if you take a ball of socks and mush them up into a little roundness, I'll demonstrate. You take a sock, you push it down to the bottom of the sock and then just flip it back over. And it actually creates a little round ball, and it works pretty well. So it's kind of nice if you have two of them. You can do both hips at the same time. You can do shoulder on one side, hip on the other. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can be asymmetrical in your body, leaning one way or the other. You'll actually feel more of the tension that comes through your body. So I hope that gave you a bunch of suggestions for self-treatment. Oh, I don't want to forget about the calves. Number one trigger point for low back pain is right back here. Taking your ball, going up to a chair or your couch. You can just flip your feet up, take the ball and stick it right underneath your calf. And just lay like that. Find that spot. It might be a little lower in the calf. Yeah, I found it. Sometimes it takes 90 seconds to start to even feel it. And sometimes you feel nothing at all. And that's okay too. You got to start somewhere. Just bringing in that awareness of where that tension is in your body. Another great way, obviously, would be to roll on your feet. I like doing one foot at a time. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of, you can see that from the side, I'll just kind of lean into it. So I'm getting this nice little stretch back there. Oh, the sock doesn't really work that well on it. But if you turn the foot a little bit and get in the instep there, you might feel a lot of tension. Reflexology, this is the spine, that instep part of your foot. So that feels really good too. And again, I know on demonstration purposes I'm going really fast, but I just want to give you a bunch of different ideas just to get yourself started on self-treatment. Some of the other things I like to do to release the lower back is, either if you have a yoga block, or I'm sure you can get creative with stuff at your house, find a small little box of some sort. But again, you want it to be soft. I guess it can be a rolled up towel. You take a towel, you roll it up. Anything to kind of lift the spine up. So you get this relaxed feeling in your pelvic area, right in here. And then take your legs and take them out to the side. This is just a nice way to open up the whole anterior area right here. It's also very relaxing. A lot of us are under a lot of stress when we're in pain for a long time. So this one feels really good. And then obviously, if you have a little bit more range of motion, a little bit more flexibility, if you can get the yoga block under your hips, same thing, just laying there, opening the legs, really help opening up all these anterior attachments. That can really have a direct relationship on your low back pain. There is one more that I wanted to show you because it is one of my favorite yoga poses. It's reclining Baddha Konasana, and you take your feet, you bring them up, you place this blanket so it's strapped underneath your hips, lay back, you have some extra pillows if it hurts your legs to hold them open that long. And then what you want to do is take your arms and open them up so that you open up the front of your chest and just really feel this whole opening through the front of your body. Very relaxing for the lower back, very relaxing for the hip area. And those are some suggestions. And hopefully you'll do them. Finding time is not always, the easiest thing. But I always say, even if you did it, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, that's a good place to start. I think once you realize that you'll sleep better and feel better, you'll find more time in your day to do it. Your body needs it, it deserves it. We work hard. And if you have any questions, just contact me. I'm always here for you guys. Suggestions for individuals. And enjoy that.